Jordan Smith, from Harlan to Hollywood.
His story inspired the region, a mountain boy reaching for the stars in Hollywood.
Harlan County native Jordan Smith stole the spotlight just a few months ago on one of the biggest stages. While he captured the title of The Voice winner, he also won the hearts of America.
Tonight, we take a look back at his impact on the region and how Eastern Kentucky influenced Jordan himself.
We begin with his incredible road to stardom.
When Blake turned around, he was the first to turn around. I was just like, that's it. Like, I'm on the show. Like, no matter what happens, I'm, at least on a team. When that fourth chair turned around too, it was just an incredible feeling.
The world needs a person like you. I think you're the most important person that's ever been on this show.
Please welcome Jordan Smith.
I'm really proud to be from Eastern Kentucky and from Harlan. While we may not be rich and we may not have the best of everything, we are rich in people and culture.
Jordan said at the beginning of this, he said, I'm in this competition until God says I'm done, and then I'm coming home.
To hear, Adam say my name and that I'd won my knockout.
It's Jordan.
And then hearing the cheers of the people around me that have seen me at my worst and now see me at my best, it was a really amazing feeling, and I'm really blessed. Baby, I can feel your halo. I pray it won't fade away. Dreaming is believing. It's okay not to be okay.
Sometimes it's on NBC's The Voice, and one thing I can promise you, there's no shortage of support for Jordan Smith here in his hometown of Harlan, Kentucky. Coach declaring it a drop-the-mic moment.
There's no way that anyone can beat him after that performance. No way.
Jordan, I think you might have dropped your heart and soul all over the stage. Here, let them help you pick that up.
Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb?
What are you going to do if Jordan wins tonight?
I'm just going to scream hallelujah.
Well, we drove about 7 hours from Statesboro, Georgia, near Savannah.
Seeing is deceiving, dreaming is believing. It's okay not to be okay.
I've been here almost every night, and this is unreal. Jordan has given all the young people around Harlan County and Eastern Kentucky just the thought of a dream.
The winner of The Voice is...
Anybody that has a dream can achieve that dream, no matter where they're from, no matter what they do, no matter where they live.
Jordan Smith,
It's a voice signed by God, and that's an anointing that's beyond talent.
It's just a new chapter in his life, and I just am so overwhelmed by the people, by America, the way they've left him, and the way he's not changed. It's just made my heart overflow.
I'm very excited about the future. This show has opened so many doors for me and so many cool opportunities, so I'm excited to explore that. I signed with Republic Records, which is my label now, so I'm really excited to get into the studio as quickly as possible and put out some good music for everyone to be able to purchase. And I just want to make music, that inspires people. I want to keep doing music like I've done on the show, and music that really comes from my heart and that speaks to the heart of other people.
Lots of great moments. Earlier in February, Jordan returned to what he considers his second home, Lee University in Cleveland, Tennessee.
It's where he went to college before The Voice and where his influence can be seen among his peers. His music professor, Brad Moffitt, spoke to us the day that he returned. He talked about how Jordan might not have the typical star image, but is still honest about who he is.
I think it exemplifies that Jordan I think Jordan expressed his faith in a way that was sincere and authentic, but it was never obnoxious. And I think that spoke volumes to a lot of people around him, that he didn't compromise his values or what he believes for some dream, but that he was very consistent. It came across as something authentic, and sometimes I think we as Christians can come across as inauthentic because we're trying too hard.
Jordan plans on finishing his degree in music business at Lee, but he's not sure when that will happen.
During the competition, we asked what your favorite Jordan Smith performance was on The Voice. Here are the top three. 50% said the Christmas classic, Mary Did You Know? More than 29% said Queen's Somebody to Love. And nearly 8% voted for Great Is Thy Faithfulness. Here's a look back at this rendition of the third place song.
Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. In all I have needed, thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness, great is thy...
One of my favorites, he stood before the world and shared his faith. Next, we look back at Jordan's upbringing and how it lifted him to the top of the mountain.
From the time he was a little boy, everyone that knew Jordan recognized his gift. His family says music simply came natural.
Whether at home or at his church, the golden voice from Harlan belted out beautiful melodies. WYMT's Caleb Noe has more about his special gift and his faith.
Climb every mountain.
It was a long climb for Jordan Smith to find his dream, but not one that he faced alone.
He's had, choir training and stuff growing up and all that. But it's not just the training. It's also the Spirit of God flowing through him.
Yeah, you can train somebody all you want to train them, but you have to have something to start with.
For Jordan, that foundation is deeply rooted in a Christian upbringing that saw him at church every Sunday morning and often doing what he does best, singing.
We knew from a very early age that Jordan was going to be, a fantastic musician, that's for sure.
One of his favorite songs to sing was His Eye is on the Sparrow, not knowing he would eventually sing it on national television at the Super Bowl of Gospel.
His eye is on the sparrow.
His journey on The Voice was a fun one, to say the least. But his family says if they had to sum it all up, there is one moment that stands above the rest.
He's standing at the mic, and he's fixing to do the last big part, and he looks over and smiles as the greatest moment of the entire show, I think.
That was a no.
He smiled like, I'm really fixing to let him have it right here. I'm going to slay him. That was the turning point, and looking back now at the journey, that was it. I was up and down the aisle, throwing the arm, squalling and yelling. I was overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, this room here, there was like not these walls, but I mean, it was bigger. The place erupted.
There's no way that anyone can beat him after that performance. No way.
A journey that one family will never forget. Jordan Smith climbed a mountain and found his dream.
Just an incredible voice. Earlier we told you how Jordan returned to Lee University to visit with friends and professors. Check out this picture. Now this is him singing with the choir there, the Lee Singers.
One of his best friends told us she will never forget when he found out that he made the cut to be on The Voice. She said he stayed grounded and humble throughout the process.
He loves those people more than anything. Jordan doesn't do anything halfway. And when he loves, and he loves those people. And he is so thankful for them. He wouldn't, like I said, would not be the person he is today without them.
She said most importantly, Jordan is just proud to be from Eastern Kentucky. He definitely put the spotlight on Harlan County in a way no one could have ever imagined.
There is no denying Jordan's impact on Harlan County in the short term and for years to come. WYMT's Tanner Hesterberg talked to Harlan County leaders and people who live there about the significance of these last few months.
The winner of The Voice is Jordan Smith, Teen Adams.
A moment that changed Harlan County forever. Not just the way people look at Harlan County, but the way Harlan Countians look at themselves.
I think he's done more for Harlan County and Eastern Kentucky maybe than anyone has ever done. I mean, he has himself, I think, reversed hundreds of negative stereotypes that have been labeled on this region.
Dan Mosley is Harlan County's judge executive. He points to Jordan's performance of Chandelier early in the competition as the moment many people began taking notice. Mosley says the next morning his email inbox was overloaded with folks asking about Jordan and wishing him good luck.
Moving on from there, it just continued. If I would go to a conference or be in Frankfurt for some matter, anytime I would run into someone that I didn't know and introduce myself as being the Harlan County judge, they would immediately say, Jordan Smith's from Harlan County, and rave about his talent and how special he was.
But the phenomenon spread quickly past Kentucky's borders and to the rest of the country. Back in Harlan County, bumper stickers like these could not be printed fast enough. Penny Farley and the rest of the staff at Jewelcraft in Harlan lost track of how many stickers they handed out.
How many Jordan Smith related items have you given away?
Oh man, probably around 1,000, if
Really?
not more, yes.
As Jordan's popularity went up, so did signs and billboards. His performances became appointment television for folks like Kimberly Blanton.
Just to hear him sing, it's like you just don't want him to stop. He has such a gift.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
It has been so exciting, and it has really given the whole county something everybody can get behind. And, you know, we may be divided about politics or religion or athletics or whatever, but this is something that everybody was excited about.
An excitement that culminated with Jordan being the last contestant remaining on the stage, setting off a celebration that's still going on in Harlan County and may never end.
Can you begin to put a price tag on the amount of positive exposure Jordan has brought Harlan County?
I mean, I've thought about it a lot, and you know, MasterCard used to have a commercial that stated priceless at the end of the commercial, and the way I look at this, you know, someone may say a ticket to a Jordan Smith concert, $80, an autographed photo, a couple of $100, but the exposure that Jordan Smith gave to Harlan County through this journey in a positive way, that would be priceless.
And while Jordan Smith's victory is one for all of Kentucky, there's a solemn pride that can only belong to the people of Harlan County.
Now, shortly after winning The Voice, Jordan proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Kristen Denny, on New Year's.
Number 2 on our countdown of favorite Jordan Smith songs while on The Voice is Somebody to Love.
Somebody to love.
He set the stage on fire.
Watch it pour as I touch your face. Well, it burn while I cry 'cause
Straight ahead, hear from the Voice winner himself about what is next.
We just saw how much Harlan County loves Jordan Smith when he came home for the first time after winning The Voice.
We were there for the special homecoming ceremony, and WYMT's Caleb Noe recently caught up with Jordan's family and even Jordan himself about how their lives have changed.
His musical gift was evident from a young age.
He hummed before he talked.
And if one thing is for sure, Jordan Smith's Harlan County home was never out of tune.
My family is so musical. Both of my parents sing, my brothers are musical, and just being around that, growing up and singing in church and participating in choir and band and theater in high school.
Things have certainly changed since Jordan's high school years, and his following has grown by the millions.
Everything is happening so quickly and so many big, amazing things have been happening. I'm so grateful for it, but it's all happening so fast. It's just, it's been a big adjustment.
Aside from all the changes, however, Harlan County will always be home.
I am the person I am because of where I'm from, and so those are my people, and I love being from there.
He says that foundation of support was his driving force from the beginning.
I kind of wanted to prove to them in the beginning that it was possible to achieve your goals and that, you know, there was not really any dream that's truly impossible if it's something that you want.
No doubt he proved that through an unforgettable ride full of tears, laughter, prayer, and hard work.
I think that the true reward comes from all the challenging work that you have to do.
A series of dreams come true.
Jordan Smith, Jordan Smith, Jordan Smith.
Leading up to that one moment that dreams are made of.
Jordan Smith!
It was the dream just being there, let alone being standing, you know, at the end and being the winner.
There is no journey without a process.
Week by week, you can't see the end. You just see as, you know, weeks happen, as, you know, you take it in stride.
Alongside Jordan, stride for stride was his hometown, and that was never more apparent than on December 21st, when Harlan County welcomed home that beloved voice.
There's so many of you that work hard every single day, and you are the true heroes, and you're the true people that make this place run and that make this happen, and you're the people that make this such a great place.
He addressed the crowd of more than 1,000 on the same stage he graced in 2012 when he won Polk Salad Idol.
I've learned a lot, I'll tell you that, and I've seen a lot of things, but it's so good to be home and to see you guys and to be here for a few days. You're my people.
A gracious family, inspired yet humbled by a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Welcome the winner of The Voice.
We thank everybody for their support and want to ask for them to continue to support and pray for him. And you know, that's the most important thing is the prayers.
Our family is so grateful, and I'm so proud to be from Harlan County.
In a region facing dark times, one voice shines bright for a generation of hope.
to stand in the light and be seen as we are.
During that welcome home ceremony, Jordan thanked everyone for the love and support.
He also sang one of the songs that made him a star. Here's that performance of Hallelujah.
I've heard there was a secret chord. You don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, and her beauty in the moonlight overthrew ya. Tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And
gives you chills. Just in time for Christmas, Jordan gave us an early present when he sang a classic.
The #1 song by Jordan during The Voice, voted on by you, was Mary, Did You Know?
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? And the sleeping child you're holding, he is the great I am. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
As we watched Jordan's journey, it was clear that he unified Eastern Kentucky. So if we can rally behind one person, why can't we revive our region together? WYMT General Manager Neil Middleton shares his thoughts on what Jordan Smith means to Appalachia.
Jordan Smith's incredible journey left a lasting impact far beyond his powerful vocals and humble personality. Despite his young age, Jordan taught us so many life lessons. 3 stand out to me. First is his incredible faith and the fact he lives what he believes. Jordan summed it up best when he said, "I am only secure in who I am because I know my identity lies in Christ and in my faith." Jordan is the same whether he's walking on the streets of his hometown in Harlan, the campus of Lee University, or the Voice stage in Hollywood, California. Jordan Smith is genuine. Jordan also reminded us to believe in ourselves, that no goal is too high, no dream too big, that being different really is what makes you special. Jordan put his life story to music in his first single, Stand in the Light. He says, "This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not going to hide because the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are." You know, that's a powerful message in a day where Hollywood tries to put us all into this one beautifully gift-wrapped box that most of us, well, simply just don't fit into. You know, it is okay to be different. It is okay to be yourself. And last but certainly not least is the lesson of unity and pride. When Jordan Smith said, "I'm from Harlan, Kentucky," he wasn't embarrassed, he wasn't ashamed. He said it with pride and embraced his heritage. Jordan unified my hometown and our region. He generated excitement, erased stereotypes, and brought much needed positive national and international attention to southeastern Kentucky. It didn't matter if you went to Harlan City or Harlan County High School. It didn't matter if you lived in Harlan or Bell or Pike County. Everyone, all of us, were on Team Jordan. Now it's time for us to take that same sense of excitement and unity and break down county and political barriers, to work together to create one strong, one unified, one Eastern Kentucky, to dream big, to dream about a better tomorrow for our families, our children, and our region. You know, it's not impossible. It is within our reach to stand in the light and be seen as we are, as one unified and proud Eastern Kentucky. Will you join me?
Thanks, Neil. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish Together as Fools. As we leave you with Jordan's new song, we remember some of our best moments and some of those who have already stood in that light. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Stand in the light and be seen as we are.
I was excited and happy to be able to say that I was from Harlan, Kentucky when they asked where I was from.
Didn't I tell you I hear what you say? Never look back as you're walking away. Carry the music, the memories, and keep them inside you. Laugh every day. Don't stop those tears from falling down. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in.
One mountain team taking care of business tonight, still 3 more to go.
It means everything to this town, this community, this team.
I feel their support while I'm traveling across the country. I feel it everywhere I go.
With courage and kindness, hold on to your faith.
They're up in the Kentucky Derby.
To reach for the branch and climb up, leaving sadness behind you.
But Jenkins senior Whitney Creech can now say she is the all-time leading scorer in Kentucky basketball history.
Never giving up. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna.
We've got coal mines that are full of coal that need to be mined, and hopefully one day we'll mine it. But we've also got mines of talent in this region.
And the Grammy goes to Traveler, Chris Stapleton.
Right in the storms that come raging toward.
I was just able to stand there and win by being myself, and that was really special.
Holding on for it, that's we break through the sun.
Jordan Smith, he got him.
Open wide, with arms open wide.
I don't know how I was blessed with such a good family and such good friends and with such an amazing opportunity, but it's just been a huge blessing.
This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide.
As I was moving along this journey, I kind of found something beautiful in every single day and every single song. And there's a common thread in all of it that just kind of blew me away.
Stand in the light and be seen as we are.
Pine Creek Nation has its 3rd straight 3A title.
'Cause the greatest risk will ever.
Lefty and UK commit, looking for the end zone, trying to get there, cashes in.